Manon Brunet.
Margaux Rifkiss.
And their reserve is Margaux Rifkiss.
And once again, our referees from Germany, Mr. Benedict Bach.
Well, the referees come back out, and it is Benedict Bach again.
Mr. Matthew Cox.
Matthew Cox from the USA.
From Greece,
Andreas Duvis from Greece.
From China, Sing-Ki Wang.
And it's Wang Jingqi from China. And
ladies and gentlemen, applause for our finalists.
We are about to see the final action here in New York. I'm Karen Bashir, bringing you coverage of the New York Women's Sabre World Cup. It is the team day, the second day of live broadcast, and joining me for the last action here in Brooklyn, Donald Anthony, president of US Fencing. Brilliant show you guys have put on here.
Oh, well, thank you very much. We do our best, and it's always an honor to be host to the International Federation, and it's a lot of fun. One, I'm a little biased because it's a weapon that I competed in, and it's always nice when you have a competitive team. You know, our team didn't do quite as well as we would have liked, you know, coming off of the Rio Games where they were bronze medalists at the Olympics, but you know, we had a good show. A lot of people came out to see it, and it's almost like a little family reunion. You get to see people you haven't seen in a long time. So thank you for being part of it and making it as successful as it's been, Carl.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure to come out here, and first time commentating on fencing in the US. It's been an absolute privilege to be here and see this fantastic competition. Great venue. And a couple of little things. Last night I had you presented an award. It was a sort of a thank you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Because I think that young lady deserves a little bit of accolade in front of her home audience.
Absolutely. We were fortunate to have had Kathy Zagunis as our women's saber squad manager, but even more so than that, she's been the basically team mother for our saber program for many, many years. And we wanted to recognize all of that she's given to not just USA Fencing, but truly to the sport. She's been a go-to person for many federations around the world. So we had a chance to just recognize her for all of her service to USA Fencing and to the sport of fencing.
Well deserved too. Lovely lady.
And also the mother of a two-time Olympic champion.
Ah, there's that. She's the daughter of the mother of the US team. So Manon Brunet for France up first in the gold medal match, up against Ji-sun Yoon of Korea. Are you pretty handy, the US? Just in these early stages, let's just give you a chance to talk about the US program. You've got a great young program developing as well. This weekend we've had competitions. We had another senior competition in Heidenheim, the men's épée event, but also a couple of junior and cadet events. And I can tell you that well, you picked up a silver medal at the junior men's foil event in Aix-en-Provence in south of France near Marseille. Nick Itkin got a medal there. You picked up a bronze medal at the junior women's foil event in Mödling. Lisa Kleiner, I hope I've got that right. She got a medal there. So the youth program is pretty phenomenal.
We've had, and that is truly a testament to the great coaches that we have around the country, all working individually with different athletes, and the fact that they just continue to build on each other. And we're very happy with it, especially what foil has turned out to be a very strong weapon for the U.S. Saber's not bad. Épée, we have had ups and downs. We were a world champion team in the men's side in 2012. 2012. So yeah, we're happy with that development. Of course, there's always room for more work, but so far so good.
Yeah, with the greatest respect, you've come kind of from nowhere 20 odd years ago. I mean, you weren't nowhere, but you're a real dominant force on the stage of world fencing now. Along with Italy and France, and now you have to say China, now you have to say the USA, now you have to say Korea, as across all the sports, and it's a great testament to the programs that you guys have put together here.
Yeah, I was in the program when we were, sort of the amateurs, and when I was telling someone, there was a time when you got a Korean or Chinese or even a Japanese fencer in a saber bout, and you were like, yes, that's going to be a victory. Or if somebody got a U.S., it was the same thing. And now that is not the case. I watched the Japanese women have a result here in the top 8. Was very impressed and very surprised. So across the board, the effort from the international community to build fencing in all of these different parts of the world is definitely showing.
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you, I've got a tip for the future of US fencing. Probably not a big tip to those of you out there that watch your fencing. I watched last year one of the most special talents I've seen in 30 years of being involved in the sport as an athlete, and then as someone who helped out with communications and media and now involved in the commentary box. A young gentleman called Jeffrey Tourette.
Oh.
And he is, I think, part of, at the start of a new breed, and I'm sure he'll start encouraging people from around the world to fence the way he does, because it is an absolute joy to watch that young man fence.
And it's just interesting how many people have really literally said that they just enjoy watching him fence. And I mean, he's obviously very successful. So I think you're right about that. It's the next generation in the new era coming up.
Yeah, someone to look out for, someone I'll definitely be looking out for. But here, we have a gold medal match on our hands, Don. And this is a relatively young French team. Cécilia Berder, the elder stateswoman at 27 years old. The other two in the team are 20 and 21. Kim Ji-yeon, only 28. Now, you think back 8 years ago, at 20 years old, she won an Olympic medal.
Exactly.
An Olympic gold medal, I should say.
Totally unexpected at that time. Of course, now she's a name and then forced to be reckoned with consistently.
Well, she won the individual title here yesterday, so she's still got it 8 years down the line.
Yeah, actually, she challenged for the individual title.
You're quite right.
But our first bout was the winner there, Miss Manon Brunet. She took that title against Miss Kim Ji-yeon in a tightly contested bout at the beginning, and then Brunet just sort of turned it on. But this is an important bout for the Korean team because, with Kim being, their veteran anchor, as you said, only 28, but she's got the experience.
Yeah.
And they need her to, once again, this score right now is 8-4. They want to, hopefully, in the second period, keep it within 2 touches, minimally. They prefer to be able to see her, get it to 10, but that's a pretty long way from right now.
It was interesting, though, in the semi-final, it was actually Ji Yoon who just put on an amazing show. I think she ended up with a plus 15 indicator in the semi-final, which is a phenomenal thing to do in any team event, but in a World Cup in the semi-finals, that's pretty special.
Well, I always look at 2 factors, major factors in the success of a team. It's not just the person who does the closing. It's always necessary to have that other person that can step in and be a factor in keeping those scores closed, catching up. We saw it early round with the U.S. and Spain. We were way down. Ibtihaj Muhammad came in and, 14-something touches, and that's how you turn the tide. But you have to have somebody who can do that.
Yeah, and having that balance in the team as well is so important, and sometimes you see, especially in sabre action, that athletes have to play different roles in different fights. So, you could go into a fight expecting to be in the lead, and you've got one of your athletes who's perhaps a holder or someone who can just contain a fight, and then you have to say to them, well, I'm sorry, but you've got to go out there and get it. So the job of the coach becomes absolutely crucial.
Yeah, it's very different. I mean, coming out of sabre, I could not understand why in épée these guys will put somebody out there and that person, they both stand around so that they don't fence.
Yeah.
And that's strategically, you know, how they do that, to keep the scores close and then try to get the matchup. In sabre, you really don't have that luxury.
Well, you're not going to see that.
Standing around does not happen in this weapon.
Ready, steady, go.
But you're right. It is, how do you get that athlete to play that role without having that option?
Well, Cécilia Berder on for the French. Jeon Seo on for Korea. Seo has an awful lot of work to do already. We're in the third leg. Target score 15. Remember, this is the gold medal match for the women's team sabre event here in New York.
Berder went for the Peru post, picked it up, wasn't able to get a touch on it. Nice setup. Very patient.
Very early stages here in this match. And looking down to the boxes, there's an air of calm in both boxes, but I'm looking down at Sara Balzer in the back of the French box, and she's having a little bit of physio done on her sword arm, shoulder and elbow by the looks of things. And I'm wondering if Margaux Rifkiss, who's standing up, has already been prepped to come on.
Yeah, you see the coach, Philippe Durrell, fine fencer in his own right, having that conversation with her.
Yeah, Balzer hasn't taken her kid off yet, so that's a nice pair of post there from Cécilia Berder. But Balzer hasn't taken the kid off yet, so I'm not sure they have made the substitution, but they're certainly considering it.
Well, they're still early. I mean, I think it'll, based upon what I'm seeing, we want to get her as well as they can, see how she performs. If she gets to the next one, they'll keep her in for the last match. If not, they'll make that substitution at that time.
Does the attack go through from Seo? It doesn't. It goes straight into a closed line, and Berder, with an element of luck, gets the 14th hit for France.
I don't know about that one. I won't say luck. I'll say that was pretty powerful parry. And that's what the Koreans have done so well this whole event. They will go all the way to that back line, and I've watched, I know I watched the U.S. team do that over and over again, just miss. Think that you're close enough, and then they just make you fall short.
And just leaning back on the line. Seo gets on with the attack, and Andres Duvis walks back to the centre. I think Berder considered making a challenge there. It was a very, very long attack. Bouncing coming from the Korean, and she's bouncing her way well into this fight. She's already scored 5 hits in this leg, so she's now in bonus territory. She's now closing down the gap every hit she scores. Berder out on the tack.
She's able to close the distance early and finish it off at the end.
So no net gain or loss there for either fencer, and we're looking at the Korean changeover, and it's Jisoo Yoon, and now we've had a fairly significant issue with our little lighting system falling down in front of the piste. If you see the Koreans standing helping out, and
so
in
the French,
fact down the other end, the French are doing the same thing. There you see Manon Brunet.
Now you talk about a sport where athletes and everybody just pitches in.
Absolutely fantastic to see.
It looked like somebody hit it.
Yeah, they're just fixing that now. I'll go let them crack on as we see Jisoo.
You see the
come on.
The gaffer's tape coming out.
I'm not quite sure how that happened. I think there may have been a little step over.
something wasn't secured as well as it should have been.
I think perhaps one of the fences, as they stepped off the piece, just disturbed the...
That's the impression that I got.
Yeah,
so they're shoring it up right now.
It all looks like it's still working, Don.
Oh, yeah. It's like, well, once again, the advantages of LED bulbs as opposed to, because if it was your incandescents, they would all be dead.
Yeah, that would be game over for the lighting. But we are back underway. Sara Balzer has come out.
Very good recovery.
Yeah, Sara Balzer has indeed come back out for the French team. Margaux Rifkiss not being used just yet. She's coming on against Jisoo Yoon. This is leg 4 of 9 in the gold medal match here at the New York Women's Sabre World Cup team event. Well, perhaps now that they've got that lighting rig all sorted out, Don, I'm sure there's a few people that I mentioned on there you might want to give a special thank you to for supporting this event.
Oh, absolutely. You know, starting with that absolute fencing, but we have a new sponsor involved with Thorn. They have come in to support USA Fencing. They are a supplement provider that the U.S. Olympic Committee has said provides high-quality supplements without having to be worried about doping control. So we're very happy to have them. And then, of course, the Mario Zagunis Foundation. Mario has set up a foundation. They are working hard to do good work for the sport, and we appreciate their support for this event.
There you go. And the support from not only the fencing community, but the likes of Thorn and those from within is something quite important to our sport in order to raise the level of what we're doing and how we're presenting our sport.
You know, I think absolutely agree, and I think it's going to be a combination of continuing to get the internal support from those who are part of our community, but also drawing in those who haven't seen it before. There was a young lady here who was formerly with ESPN, now with the Bleacher Report, which is another sports organization. She came to the event yesterday, and she was like, this is so cool, so entertaining, but so different than what the expectation is based upon what is typically shown for our sport in the media. So we have to continue to work internally and externally just to get all those resources and share what we find is we're so passionate about with others who will also find it as a very entertaining and interesting opportunity to see sports at its best.
Well, and of course you're at the forefront as well. The organisers here, and I know with your support, have put on this live stream, just the second World Cup ever to be live streamed for the world to see. And you've seen that the audience figures yesterday and today are comparable with those of the Grand Prix event. So there is an audience out there that want to consume fencing.
Well, I think that's the first of all, I agree, and that's the message that we need to get to those from externally, that hey, there are people who want this, they want to see it, they want a quality product, and we can provide a quality product. And with the advent of the new technology, we can do that at a price point that is very manageable, but we still have to have the resources to do it, and we need to find those outside sponsors that say, hey, I want to get to this audience, and that's where we got to connect the dots.
Well, and the other thing, the other value for the sponsors here is that these athletes, bar a few, are relatively untouched. They're unknowns. So it's a new faces out there, and we know the Italians have their superstars that go on Dancing with the Stars and all that kind of stuff. But the national sport in Italy is fencing, so it's kind of understandable. We know in the States, Dihash Muhammad has a name. We know races and model. We know that you guys have got some superstars in your midst. But around the world, who knows? Jeon Kim, an Olympic champion, and she's here tonight fencing. In a gold medal match, and she is a superstar, and so sponsors certainly have an opportunity to take advantage of athletes that have never sort of been seen by the world, and who are great individuals and have brilliant stories of their own.
Absolutely. The one thing that I will also say is that these athletes are great superstars, but the majority of them are also such great people, humanity. I mean, they're just really, they're class acts all the way. We don't have a lot of scandal in our sport, so.
No, it's a very respectful sport.
And I think that's always good for any organization that wants to connect with that from a brand image standpoint. Wow. That was a big parry repose.
Well, Manon Brunet, fourth at the Olympic Games, gets us through the fifth leg, and it's a stunning lead that the French have. And Cécilia Berder is coming on, elder stateswoman, and she's going to come on against the 2012 Olympic champion Jeong Kim. So if you're watching fencing for the first time, hopefully you're enjoying it. I'm Karen Bashir, bringing you coverage from the New York Women's Sabre World Cup, and I'm so happy to have President of US Fencing and Vice President of the International Federation, Don Anthony, here with me. Now, we've talked a lot around our sport. Let's talk about our gold medal match.
You know, I just realized that I made a mistake. I said it was Brunet who won yesterday.
This is a repeat of our gold medal match,
exactly.
Isn't it? You just remembered.
Yes, exactly.
Well, you corrected me because I said it was Kim that won. So
okay,
one all.
Hey, 1-all, and let's get it right this time. I always find it interesting when two athletes have competed for the individual yesterday, and now they're going to come back a day later and with a rematch. This is the opportunity for Kim to decide. Wow. Exact repeat of what happened just a minute ago.
Same decision from the referee, sticks with it.
Yeah,
so.
well, because they did the exact same, both of them made the same mistake, at least in this referee's mind.
Kim lost her video already in this sixth leg, but does drive the attack through. Cécilia Berder falling on the back line, but she's all right. They made her tough stuff. Sabreuses. Nice parry from Berder. And the parry riposte, so it's called an attack failed, and so the attack's picked up by Berder, and the referee has called it going into the guard of Kim, so parried from Kim, and a riposte given for the Korean. Cécilia Berder is using her challenge.
Well, you know, that was challengeable. I question whether it's going to be good use of the challenge, because, you know, you can see the guard. They decided it wasn't good enough for it to be awarded one way or the other. Must have been a disagreement between the referees.
Yeah, either a parry riposte or a malparry, but they must have disagreed, so no hits given. Fair enough. If you can't be completely clear, then don't give a hit.
I support that 100%.
Blocked out by Berder again. She's on the march, but Kim does pick up the blade halfway through, and she's saying, the referee's saying that it's two touches of the blade, one from Berder, one from Kim. Of course, Kim hasn't got a video left, so she can't challenge it. She is challenging it, and now
when they're out, the referee says, nope, can't challenge it. You're done. You've already burnt it.
You have to say, that's why you should save your videos, because I think she's got an argument there.
I think she had a pretty good argument. But she'll never be able to make it now.
Kim picks up the blade again. There's the famous hop from former Olympic champion. Picks up the blade as Berder gets lured into attacking. 3 hits from Kim in this fight, just 2 from Berder. But Kim's still a long way behind for the Koreans, and Berder did that fantastically in the semi-finals, diving in on preparation, getting a single light, stopping her opponent from hitting at all. And We're now back to a 13-hit lead for the French.
Yeah, Kim took a huge step coming in, and it was sort of, okay, I see this.
We're back to the hopping approach from the Korean. Oh, what a stunner. What a stunner. She lured Kim into attacking. So last time she got lured into attacking. This time she says, all right, I'm going to make her think I'm attacking, draw the finishing action from Kim and hit with a second intention parallel riposte. This time she shows more variety by taking the French team through the 6th leg, and they lead by 15 points.
Well, that's a massive lead. And it'll be very interesting to see. You said, she did a real nice job in the bout with the Russian team. So, you know, maybe we can get another run going.
Well, Kim so far has been a weak link, really, in this team. In fact, all of the Koreans are on negative indicators at the moment. All of the French are on positive indicators, and just to sort of translate that, if you're not into the vernacular of fencing, if you have a positive indicator, it means you've outscored your opponents. If you have a negative one, it means they've hit you more times than you've hit them. Clearly the former is a better position to be in.
Absolutely.
Blade is picked up from the Korean and acknowledged by Sara Balzer, who has come on to complete her 3 legs. And 1 step on preparation from Balzer. Referee Duvis calls that no challenge from the French. And the score wasn't advanced, but it is now. This time it's exactly the same, but the other way around. A small prep from CO, so she's not quite starting her attack when Balzer says, right, I'm coming at you. Disruption from CO going backwards on the back line. She picks up the blade. I think Duvis is going to give this as a riposte. He does.
And all of the French team is like
asking for the video, showing the box sign. The referee Duvis is down at the video replay. And he has overturned it and has given it to the French. Well, good call from the French. I thought that was CO's. So the referee originally, but that's what the video's for.
Wow. Not correct.
Well, another video appeal. And
well, Balzer thought she made a parry. And see, the problem now, though, is without hearing it, and that's, I think that would be one of the advancements that we would want to make with the replay system, is adding the audio.
Adding sound.
It's so important.
Balzer skips away from John. She has the right of way at the moment. Stepping in, she's waiting patiently to finish the attack. Brilliant footwork on the back line from CO. She puts in a parry riposte. It doesn't land. Balzer just skipped away, and that happened at 100 miles an hour, but Balzer lands with a sort of reinstigated attack after the first one was blocked out. Brilliant to see that one on a replay.
Yeah, that was very pretty.
Oh, that one just breaks through the defence of the French fencer. Good outing for CO here. She's going to need an awful lot more, though, to give her teammates a chance.
She's going to, I mean, that's the problem when you come in with such a huge gap, 15 touches. It's not as though you can just eke away at 1 touch at a time. You got to get massive. Just 1, 2. You can't. She can't exchange touches. She can't even go 2-1 at this point. It's got to be 4 or 5 in a row to really just start cutting away at that gap.
And she's got to get that tactical decision right every single time, that means, and that's awfully difficult in Sabre. You can change what you're doing, but you don't know what your opponent's going to do. Balzer picks up the blade, and that is the end of the 7th. We've got 2 more legs. Last 2 fights here in New York at this World Cup in the team event. 4 hits for Sio, so she did all right, but she still finishes with a -6 indicator. It means that she was outscored by her opponents by 6 hits. That's not good. Balzer, well, she finished that particular fight on a +1, and despite being one of the younger members of the team, finishes on a +6 indicator. So she's certainly done her job. She's carried the weight required in order to take a gold medal. Look at this team, 20, 20, 21 and 27, and they're on the verge of a World Cup gold.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, I think you mentioned it earlier. The team, London was a disaster for the French team. I mean, across the board, no medals. And in the 4 years between London and Rio, they really just dug and rebuilt, and they had real success in Rio. And now you see that the momentum is still going, getting better.
Yeah, they are getting better. They get this. It's a real, excuse the pun, renaissance of French fencing, and it's fantastic to see it. The French are, they're an important part of our history. I think the 2nd highest Olympic medals in fencing after Italy, and so yeah, great to see them back, and great to see some of these young fencers coming through. Manon Brunet is another superstar of the future for sure.
Yes, Manon Brunet will be definitely on the stage for a little while. And Cécilia Berder, she's rock solid.
Yeah, and of course one of the not here in the team, she's actually sitting in the team box, is Cécilia Berder as well, another very entertaining fencer to watch on the French women's sabre team.
Yep, I agree.
So the referee calls that as an attack from Berder on preparation, but it goes into a block from Yoon, and so Yoon picks up the right of way and scores the hit. Now, Yoon was an absolute superstar in the semi-finals, did a corking job, and she's got to repeat that here to give the Koreans a chance, with Jeon Kim coming on for the anchor for Korea. That was a great piece of footwork there, wasn't it? Just skipping away from Berder, waiting for her to stop and then going.
And closing her out. That was just, everything worked on that touch.
Oof. Attack going through there. That was so fast, it looked like the scoring apparatus took a chance to catch up, a while to catch up with the hit.
The hit was there. You can see Yoon has picked the tempo up.
Oh, nice from Berder. She's nailed that hit today, time and time again.
Yep.
Stepping in, showing a piece of target to her opponent. It's kind of like a boxer presenting his or her chin to their opponent and then just taking it out of the way and landing with a riposte. I think a disagreement between Berder and her coach there on whether to go for the video.
Yeah, they were like, go for the video. I think Berder is, at that point, she doesn't want to burn it unnecessarily.
I think you're right.
And I don't think it was so clear that with that one that she would feels that the referees would have been able to sort it out anyway.
Exactly, and a bit of a mess there in the middle, and as Berder came through, Yoon blocked it out and tried to land her riposte. Berder didn't even really acknowledge that it had gone into a clothesline and just stuck her arm out and hits with a counter riposte in the end. Yoon on a flyer. We said she had to do something here, and she's really started to do it. And just skips away. She's on the march herself now. Picks up the blade from the Korean and lands with a beautiful compound attack. What a lovely hit that was.
And that is what the difference when we saw the Koreans making her fall short too. This time she's just closing the distance, but because of her nice strong 5 quint parry riposte, she's able to be very confident. Well, you're not going to hit me, so I can get close.
Parry riposte is parried. And yes, I agree with that, but Berder does not. The parry riposte from Berder goes into a clothesline from Yoon. Yoon gets the counter riposte. I think Berder's going to come out on the attack here. She steps in, lures Yoon. Yoon says, no, I'm not coming at you. You come and get me. Now Berder opens the distance right up, dancing along the piste. A little bit of showboating maybe. And does she go looking for the blade? She does. And that's another hit for Yoon. Yoon has scored 9 hits in this fight. Parry riposte. Yoon was ready for that one.
Wow.
Hit number 10. I'll tell you what, 2 or 3 more, and yes, they'll still be quite a long way away, but crikey, the wind will be right behind this Korean team.
Absolutely.
A lovely sky hook there, a stop cut onto the wrist. Yoon showing a bit of variety here. I think she's fencing with a little bit of gay abandon, I think we call it.
I would say so.
She's relaxed. She's just saying, well, I'll just give it a go, and she does really well, but Berder seals it off finally. 11 hits to Yoon. So comes out of that fight with a +6 indicator, which leaves her after her 3 fights on a level indicator. So she scored as many as she gave away.
Well, that's. I think that it's still such a huge gap, but the one thing that is nice about that is it brings you back into the point where you feel as though you can keep your head high without saying we just got beat to death. So.
And Manon Brunet is a fine talent, but she is young. She's only 20, and this is a nervy moment. Let's not forget she's facing former Olympic champion and yesterday's silver medalist. This is not out of question for the Koreans.
No, definitely not. But you can't start like that. Or you can. You just can't keep doing it.
Yeah, one mistake. If that's the only one, it's all right.
Yeah. And then she just has to get,
15 hits.
Exactly. Do the math.
Well, was there a preparation from Kim there? It was not. It was given as attack straight for Kim. And Manon Brunet is going to use her video, I think, straight away. And I think there is an argument for her here. But do you want to waste your video so early?
Well, it depends if you think it's that obvious.
You see Andres Duvis there on the video. They're having a look, and the referee calls it back. So you're saying it depends if you think it's so obvious, but
it wasn't.
Clearly not.
Not to the 2 referees, at least.
So no video for Brunet. That's it. All done.
But she's not the one that's going to need them. She's got enough opportunities to get touches taken away from her when she gets them at this point.
Here she comes, wheeling her around. She waited for that jump. She knew that was coming. Patiently kept distance perfect and then just landed a compound attack. Skips away from the attack now. She builds again. Now she's doing the jumping. Perhaps a bit of showboating from Manon Brunet there.
Well, I don't know if it's so much showboating. I think she thinks she can suck her into that rhythm that she wanted. Yep.
Just picks up the timing there from Kim. Brunet 2 away from taking France to gold here in New York.
It's such a nice luxury to have a Big Ten touch lead. When you only have to get 10, you can relax and say, "Let me try this."
Especially with that, the ability to nail a parry riposte like that.
Yeah.
France 1 away from gold. Brunet skips away from Kim. Builds her own attack. She's on her way, and she lands it with a great big scream from Manon Brunet. Here come the French on to the podium. High fives from all of them for Kim, but then a big hug, and France